What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 19 of Sitting Courtside. We're getting up there a little bit, Dante. We're getting
Yes,
up.
sir. Big 1-9, Jerry. Big 1-9. As
Yes,
always,
sir.
my name is Dante. Jerry, starting off the show. We are very excited to be back. Hopefully everyone had a good holidays, had a Merry
Absolutely.
Christmas, have a good New Year's in the next few days when this video does come out.
Yep.
Yeah, man, we just, another week in the books of some NBA action. We have some new topics here.
Yeah.
How you doing, Jerry? Did you have a good Christmas, good holidays?
Yeah, man, it was great. Just I think when I think of Christmas and I think of holiday time, whether that be Thanksgiving or whatever, I just think of spending time with family and
Mhm.
real intimate space, real intimate settings. I hope you recharge your battery here and got to get ready for the new year.
Absolutely. I think that's always important, recharging, especially at the holidays. I, got to go home with the family, got to spend some time with them, just kind of not worry about anything. It's a
Yep.
nice few days away, few days off, but we're back, ready to talk some ball. Jerry, we have the topics.
Yeah,
And
and unfortunately, we got to start off with a not so much Christmas miracle in the Detroit Pistons. Which,
Motor City, baby.
if you guys looked at our last episode, me and Dante had a bet
Mhm.
about if the Pistons could get over or under 9 wins. I went over because it's like no team could be that
I
damn
mean, come
bad.
on. 10 wins in a season? Yeah, come on.
That's it. That's
It's a
it.
layup.
But Dante took the under, and right now it looks like he's going to be correct because the Pistons have an NBA record of 27 straight losses. That's a whole lot of losing. Like, you might as well just sit in solitary confinement and not even watch basketball if you're a Pistons fan. And, that whole Wingstop ad about, hey, when the Pistons win, you get
Yeah.
$5 wings.
That one poor bastard that's been camping out each game. That one poor bastard. I hope if that day happens, that guy has the best Wingstop of his life, the best chicken tenders, chicken fingers of all time. Man,
I
all
just
I
need.
can say,
Oh, man.
Jerry, is poor Cade. Poor Cade Cunningham. 41 points last night. This guy's post game looking like he's just depressed, looking like he's sad. He goes, "Man, we're not 2 wins bad, man. We're better than this, man." I don't know if you are, Cade. I know you got to put on a straight face. You got to put on, as much of a smile as you can. You got to, laugh through the pain. I get it, but man, you just might be that bad, and it's a shame. I feel. I don't know, Jerry. It's just it's tough. It's tough for the NBA. It's tough for Detroit. Tough for the city. Tough for the fans. It's tough for everyone involved. And I don't know if there's an end in sight. I don't know.
That's
Actually, I do. They're playing the Celtics on Thursday. If I know my Celtics, if I know the Celtics away, at home too, the only undefeated team left at home, it's perfect. It's storybook. That's where they'll probably get their win. But
if they happen to play down to their competition, if God is willing.
that's the Celtics way, baby. Playing down to your competition.
I think we just need to stop and pause for a minute though on this topic. Just when I look at the Pistons as a whole, like not even as an organization, I'm not going to talk about GMs or anything like that, but just looking at the roster in general, it's just a disrespect to have Cade Cunningham, to have Jaden Ivey, who I still don't think is starting. It's still Killian.
I think he may have just started, just got put into the starting lineup a few games ago. Maybe just got put in. Bogdanovich averaging 20 a game. He's putting up decent numbers.
They have solid talent to where they shouldn't be a 2-win team.
They should have. No team should ever have this start to a season. No team.
I think the only thing I could really point the finger to is the guy who got one of the richest deals for a coach.
Do we? Is that what it is? Is it Monty Williams? Is it him?
How could they be this bad?
I know.
2 wins bad?
I know.
You might as well be throwing out a JV high school roster onto an NBA court.
It's like I get it. Usually that's where you want to point the blame to. It's like
I have to.
Starts with the head coach. I get it. And if something does happen, the coach is the first to fall. He'll probably get let go. But it's maybe it's I don't know. Monty Williams definitely has something to blame here, but like I don't know if these players like it just seems like they're on the court and they just don't care. Maybe it sets their attitudes. Maybe it's because they're not getting pushed enough. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like when they're out on the floor, it's just that's just five guys that are just going up and down, just trying to get some cardio, and they don't care. They're unmotivated.
You said five guys, and I'm just thinking about the restaurant. Like they are five guys.
Yeah,
They are just they in it for the burgers and the fries.
You would think that they just were five guys that they just looked in the crowd, saw some jersey. I mean, nowadays, if you have a Pistons jersey, show up downtown to practice. Tomorrow morning, Thursday, they're holding tryouts. I'm pretty sure you can find your way onto the roster. It's just a bad look. At the end of the day, like business wise, it's a terrible look. Tickets go for not even $5. Fans are disinterested. You have the team owner talking about a change is coming. Fans are chanting, sell the team. Now people are just like, it's an accomplishment. They keep track of when they start chanting. Last game, they started chanting at the 14-second mark, which was, I think, compared to the 20-something second mark. So it's getting better. It's like, man, it's a disaster. It really is. And, we thought, we saw the Bobcats and them break the record years ago. And we were like, I don't know if we'll ever see something that bad again. And that was a shortened season. This is an 82-game season.
Look,
this is bad, Jerry. Very bad. Not good. Not good.
That Bobcats team was worth 7 wins.
Was that rookie Kemba? Was that his rookie year?
I believe so. And it was DJ Augustine. It was Bismack. Like that team was not good. Like that doesn't surprise me that they really won 7 games. They were a bad basketball team.
They were a very bad team.
They had no great young talent. Yes, you had Kemba maybe, but that was it. That was a one bright spot. And as a 6-foot guard, you're not probably going to move the needle enough to elevate them to double-digit wins. You would hope so, but that just wasn't possible with the talent that was amassed in Charlotte.
It wasn't in their hands.
In Detroit, we're talking about a team full of young players that if you ask GMs or analysts or scouts or whatever, oh, Cade could be a star one day. Oh, Jalen Durant could be a really good player. Bogdanovich is a really good player that has good trade value. Jaden Ivey, same thing.
I wouldn't want to disrespect Isaiah Stewart. I wouldn't say something bad to his face.
Yeah, exactly. Isaiah Stewart's an enforcer. Like they have pieces on their team that will probably look pretty damn good. Like I would call the Pistons and be like, how much for this guy? What assets do you want for this dude? But I don't even want to talk about this anymore. Like I'll just
man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what, besides firing the coach, maybe that will lead to another win or two, an extra win or two.
I don't even know. I don't even know that. Like, I have to put
that's the thing. Like, that's why, like, I understand what you're saying with Monty Williams, and, like, he probably will be the first domino to fall. But is that going to fix anything? Is that going to change anything? I can't say that will. Maybe because there's nothing else to do, like it can't get worse. So it's like maybe there will be some improvement, right? But like I don't know. I
think the issue could also be that there's not a real culture guy that's on that
roster.
Like, sure, there's veterans on the team.
Who's the longest tenured guy on the team?
Why do I want to say Cade Cunningham?
It could be.
Really don't know.
It definitely Isaiah Stewart, maybe.
Yeah.
Like
it's a bad situation. It's a bad situation.
It's just a bad situation, and they can break the record or tie the record for most consecutive losses ever because the record they have is in season. So they broke the record for in season losses in a row. Now they can set the record, break the record for consecutive, like in between seasons, whatever it may be. So we'll see what happens. Yep.
They're about to claim that record possibly. They already have the NBA record, like you mentioned, but they also have the lowest winning percentage in NBA history at .067.
So when you see that zero, that first zero, you just know. It's not.
Yes, it's like you got an F on your report.
Nasty business in Detroit. That's all it is. But we'll see what happens over the next few games. I'd give you the rundown of like who they're playing, but it doesn't matter.
No.
So it unfortunately,
if they win a game, it'll be breaking news because the people in Detroit can finally get their fucking wings.
They can.
$5.
That guy better get like a week's worth of wings for staying committed as long as he has. God bless that guy.
Still waiting outside, not wanting to pay full price. I would have just
Or
bought the damn thing, but go to Chick-fil-A. They're
that
little
just go to
cheaper.
Chick-fil-A,
They're
man.
little
It's
cheaper.
better. It's better. Come on.
Anyway,
Anyways.
off of mediocrity and on to somebody that's actually playing pretty damn well.
Yep.
How about Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks? A,
Yep.
a team that I think we discussed in the very beginning of the season, like maybe they'll be in the middle of the pack, and they're exactly where we thought they would be. At 17-12 right now, they're 6th in the East. But
Yep.
obviously, we're talking Knicks. I want to talk about their best player, which obviously isn't Julius Randle.
It is
How about
not
Jalen
Julius
Brunson?
Randle. You're damn right it's not him.
Talk to me about Jalen Brunson being the best player on arguably the most valuable franchise in sports, which I think it is in terms of value,
Sure.
with 26 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Is this still going to be an all-star this year? And how far could he take the Knicks?
He got snubbed last year, didn't he, for being an all-star? Did he get snubbed last year?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. This would be his first one if he were to make it this year.
Okay. Yeah. No, listen. Jalen Brunson, one of the better guards in the Eastern Conference in the NBA right now. He's playing at an unbelievable level. Looking at the roster he has around him. The Knicks is like, and also he's averaging 26 on 48% from the field and shooting 46% from three. That's really good. I look at the Knicks roster, and it's just like the Knicks are always a team to me that are going to be like in the middle of the pack, right? Like 5-6 seed, like not a play-in team. They're in the playoffs, but like towards the bottom, right, above making the play-in game. But it's like you got like Julius Randle, RJ Barrett, quickly DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, just like an interesting batch of guys. Like I'm not the highest on Julius Randle. I know he's had a good streak of games and stuff like that, but I don't know if he's a guy that, I don't know if he's a guy that can help you get to your ultimate goal of winning a championship. I don't know if he's a guy that is a good like number 2 on a championship team. I just don't see that. Maybe a number 3. RJ Barrett, I think he still has potential, but he's just kind of stuck in that like he's like
I'm good on RJ Barrett.
He's still like there's still a little bit like he's good, but he just can't break through to that next level. He's kind of been stuck there. So what I'm trying to get to is the fact that they're 17-12. They're the 6th seed right now, and only 3 games back of the 3rd seed. Mm-hmm. With Jalen Brunson leading the way, I think that kind of just speaks to how good he's been this year, and that he does deserve to be an all-star. I mean, right now he's playing like an all-NBA player. If you're all-star at this point, that should be a lock. I don't want to say surprised, but like if the Knicks were going to be good this year, Jalen Brunson was going to be the reason why. So the fact that the Knicks are where they are, it doesn't surprise me that Brunson, seeing where the Knicks are in the rankings, it doesn't surprise me that Brunson is having the season that he's having.
Yeah, I mean, he showed that, last year at the tail end, especially he started picking up a lot of steam around that All-Star break last year. I think the splits were ridiculous. So, I mean, It's definitely a guy that, just like you said, I'm not surprised. And even with Becky Hammond's comments as of late, talking about how not a lot of 6-foot guards have that ability, outside of Steph Curry, have that ability to be the best player on the team and be the 1A and lead their guy to a championship. Not saying Brunson can, but I think we have to put some respect on this dude's name and for what he's doing for the team. Because without him, they would be maybe not even in this picture, in the playoff picture right now. So, I mean, the Knicks, I agree. Like, I think Julius Randle is the guy that the odd man out in my mind. Yeah, probably the most tradable piece where you could sell him because he is pretty durable, consistent in terms of play. For me, decision making is a little, off. I'm not a huge fan of Julius Randle either.
I don't think he has the best shot IQ either, personally. But
that's what I'm talking about, more so for decision making. I think ill-advised, chucked up 3-pointers when you're 6'9", 240, 250.
He loves acting like he's one of the best 3-pointers in the league. The way he played, you'd think that he would be.
Yeah, it's a little annoying to watch sometimes. But, yeah, overall, like, everything about Jalen Brunson, I think he deserves all the praise. I mean, think about it. Out of all the guards in the Eastern Conference that we could think of, like a Trae Young, a Tyrese Halliburton, Tyrese Maxey, Damian Lillard, whoever, he's played better than – you could make an argument that he's played better than all of those guys.
Sure, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
With his type of season.
I mean, I'm just looking at like the guards in the East, like guys that I'm just putting out guys that like argument like could be ahead of Brunson, Lillard, Maxey,
I might take
Halliburton,
them.
Halliburton, um, Trey, Lamelo. If you want to throw him in the mix, you can. That's in the East.
Hasn't been
I think
healthy.
you could make an argument that he's better than all those guys.
I,
At this point, you definitely could. I think Halliburton. I think I'd put it maybe put ahead of him, but like, there's a fair argument to be made. There really is.
the way I see it, like I love Divine Dimes. You know how I feel about Halliburton.
Yes, you
But
do.
the way I
Yes, you
see
do.
it, Jalen Brunson is just a gamer. I'm gonna go out there and like I'm gonna just bust your ass, and I'm gonna make sure that I can get my team over the hill before you can. And like,
A
yeah,
hundred,
obviously they lose games. Everybody does, even when you have explosive performances. But
sure.
I get this vibe just watching him play that he's what's going to make New York a hot spot again for free agents or for people to want to demand a trade to go to New York. Because I could see people wanting to play with him. Like,
Yeah,
not saying
hundred.
Julius
Yeah,
Randle is a cancer or anything like that, but there's arguments at the beginning of the season about them butting heads with Randle and Brunson not wanting to play together, or they want to be the guy. Randle
right.
looks like he's kind of settled into that number two kind of role, but he still has the ego that he is the go-to
Of
guy
being a
on the team.
number one. Yeah,
So like,
He's not giving those keys up easily, which I
exactly,
think could be the thing that holds him back. Ultimately, is not
possibly.
figuring out who the true number one is. And then when it comes down to it, like in the playoffs, like late game situations, is Brunson going to be the one that takes over? Is Randall going to try to be the hero? What going to be? I do believe that the Knicks have something. I think that like with Josh Hart, Brunson, DiVincenzo, like I know Mitchell Robinson's out there, which is very unfortunate. They have pieces that I think that you can definitely work with. Like I know they're all buddies and stuff, but the Brunson Hart DiVincenzo trio is
Villanova,
perfect.
baby.
That's perfect. Get rid of Randall. See if you can get rid of RJ Barrett. And I think, and then free agency, some guys come in. I think if the opportunity ever comes, I do believe that they will be in the running for a guy like Embiid.
Yeah.
Again, that's like a things have to happen down the line, but I do think that they can line themselves up for getting a player like that if someone becomes available.
Yeah. Even a Carl Anthony Towns. I think that's another
I
piece.
was thinking Karl Anthony Towns as well. Yep, if they want to get a cheaper version of Embiid,
Well,
excuse
yeah,
me.
no. There's
But yeah,
definitely a lot of
they have things they can do for sure.
a lot of pieces I would love to see go to New York now, since
Hmm.
I think Jalen Brunson might be the best player in a Knicks uniform since Melo. Like, it's it's been down years before he got there, even with
Sure.
Julius Randle kind of steering the ship for a little bit. But I feel like it was a car missing a couple wheels in the back, and Jalen Brunson came in and put him on for you. So
Hey, I mean, since he's come to New York, he averaged 24 last year, 26 this year. You know, he's getting better. So I think it's time that the Knicks hand the keys over to Jalen Brunson. Let him fully be the number one and see what he can do, and then honestly build around him.
so
Build around him.
would you suggest, though, since we kind of agreed that they are in the middle of the pack, we don't
Right.
think they could beat a Boston or a Milwaukee at full capacity when it's a
I
20
don't
game
I
series?
don't think that they're there yet. I do think that they're a team that will give a team like the Boston Celtics, Milwaukee
Yeah,
Bucks
they could give you a run,
a run. Oh yeah, in a 7 game series, I think that series can go six,
but
potentially 7 games in
more
close
so,
games.
I don't even really want to touch that conversation. What
Mhm.
I want to talk about is more so, do you think they make a move at the deadline? Obviously, names like Zach LaVine are out there, Donovan Mitchell, Siakam. Can you see them, or OG Anunoby? Can you see them making a trade to kind of push them over that hump?
I can see them doing something big in the offseason. I can see them maybe making a few minor moves at the deadline. I don't know if this is the time for them to make that big deal. If they want to like really be like, okay, like we have a chance this year, we can make a run. Sure, you can do that. But I also think the Knicks are going to be strategic with what they do. They have the picks, they have the players. I don't think that they're just going to like you said OG. I'm just going to use him as an example. Like OG becomes available at the deadline. They're not just going to do it to do it. They're going to be more calculated. They have guys on their radar. Donovan Mitchell this offseason could be someone that they go after, or they, whatever it may be. I think this offseason is when that they will make a bigger splash. Maybe they'll make a few moves here and there, like I said, but big moves, I think they wait for the offseason.
Honestly, I'm thinking about the Mitchell move now, and I don't like it because it really would just be replicated what's going on in Cleveland with Garland and Mitchell.
I just think it's like, I say him because they've had him on their radar for so long. It's just one of those things that's like you feel like it's inevitable. You know what I mean? But like, there might be better options out there. Like if I'm the Knicks and I have a chance to get a Mitchell or an Embiid is available, obviously I'm going for the Embiid, right? So we'll see what becomes available for the Knicks. I do think that they have what it takes to make a big move. We'll just see if it's there for them or not, and if it's what they want to do ultimately.
I can agree with that. Last question I have about this topic. What is Jalen Brunson in terms of the point guard rankings? Jalen Brunson is a top what point guard? Top 10, top 5? What are we thinking here?
I think it's hard. I think right now he's definitely playing like one and deserves to get that respect of being like in that top 5 conversation. I think for shit sure he's top 10 without a doubt. But I think of guys like Steph, Luka, all the guys we mentioned before that you can make a fair argument, Lillard, Maxey, there's a handful of guys that I think you can still put ahead of him. But I do believe that he has put himself in that conversation where he can be mentioned amongst some of the better guards in the NBA. Right now, I'd probably say top 7, top 8. I'd say that. I really want to give him that top 5 credit, but I don't know. It's hard. That's a tough position.
I mean, look, it's tough, but from what I've seen out of like a guy like Damian Lillard, who probably should be the best point guard in the East, maybe just off of name value alone and what he's been able to accomplish in his career. But obviously, I think the adjustment period and also he's never played with another ball dominant star like that.
100%.
Like Giannis. So I think his numbers are like going to change. It's going to be a little different because now you're playing with a guy that can drop 30 at any given night. So I think we can make the case that Jalen Brunson is a top 5 point guard. I mean, you take Steph, you take Luka, you take SGA. And then after that, I think everything else is kind of fair game. I'm probably missing a couple names for sure.
Because I think of guys like De'Aaron Fox, who's been having a great year. You have guys like Sure, yeah, exactly. That's why I think that's why it's interesting because it's like you can think of like all these other guards, and it's like you think like, oh, like they're better than Brunson. It's like, actually, like maybe Brunson is better than him.
I think what separates Fox a little bit is the defensive aspect of his game, but Jalen Brunson is no scrub. Again, when I say gamer, I mean a competitor on both sides of the ball.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And is a leader, has his guys ready to just put their work hat on and just go crazy.
100%. Yeah. No, he's definitely a guy that you want on your team. He's definitely a guy that you want on your side. You don't want to go up against him. 1,000%. I think, the Knicks are looking good right now. I think that, they're putting things together. They're playing well. Brunson's on a heater right now. Well, the deadline's coming up soon. We'll see if they make any moves, but, they're definitely a team that I think can make a team's life hell moving forward as the season goes on.
I think this is a perfect opportunity to segue to one team that probably is experiencing some hell with where they're at right now in the standings. I believe, let's see, they are 11th right now, 14-15 out west. How about the Phoenix Suns?
Yikes.
There was obviously a lot of expectation with their new big three of Beal, Booker, and KD. But
what big three? I haven't seen.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I think they played like all of 2 games.
Did they make a trade? Did they get a 3rd star? Did they get anyone good? I haven't seen anyone.
I don't think so. They gave up Chris Paul for nothing. I don't.
Yeah. Where's he been? Is he hurt? He must be on the bench or something like that, right? They couldn't just have gotten. They couldn't just have gotten rid of him for nothing, right?
Kind of seems like they did, Dante.
Right? Yeah. It seems like it. It seems like it. Yeah.
Social media is buzzing about Kevin Durant possibly. He is frustrated with the situation. Beal has only played in 2 games with this big three, and in total, Beal has only played 6 games.
Oh, that's who it is. Bradley Beal. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that they traded for him.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
even blame you. Like, it's basically a non-existent impact. A
hmm
lot of hype around it. The Death Valley's returned or
Hey, he's
whatever.
leading the
Blah blah
league
blah.
and he's leading the league in claps and high fives on the bench. He's up there. He's up
Yes.
there for sure. Yeah.
And then it's just give me your thoughts about where Phoenix is at. Obviously, a new head coach, a player that they failed to implement because of injuries. It's been a tough little situation, and they
Yeah,
still
dude.
have two top 10 players on their team, arguably.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't like. It's just weird. I think it's definitely like one of those like they're just in like a low moment of the season. I definitely think that they're hitting like rock bottom for them. I think this is what I'd imagine it would be like. The whole reports of Kevin Durant being upset. I think he came out like this morning or last night was like those reports are BS and stuff like that. I, I don't know. I just think the stars need to go out there and play like stars. I saw like the Christmas game and Luca had 50 and 15. They had Grayson Allen, I'm pretty sure, lead the team in scoring. And they had someone else who had 20 plus. And it's like, you have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and we give our praises to both of them. Two top 10 players for sure, you can argue. Kevin Durant still, you can argue he's still the best scorer in the game today. I think that's a fair case to be made. Especially at his age. Devin Booker, who has played more of like a point guard role and has had, a lot of really good games. It's, I know that Bradley Beal's been out and they did a lot of roster readjustment this offseason, but there still is no reason that they should be this low. I definitely don't think that this is where they'll finish. I definitely think that they will make the playoffs and, things will sort themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like looking at it like, man, did they really have to trade for Bradley Beal? I don't know, dude. They don't. It's kind of like a thing with Harden and the Clippers. At least the Clippers got a chance to use Harden and see if it works or not. The Suns just don't know anything about Bradley Beal. Like, and I get it. Like, it was just like second round draft picks and an older player. I get that, but like, was it necessary? Like, you could have used all this money, these picks and stuff to go out there and get players that fit. And the Suns were good last year. They were fine before they got Bradley Beal. This was just like, look at, like, obviously when it happened, it's like, oh, they just got Bradley Beal for nothing. Yeah, that's cool. But now it's like, man, they got Bradley Beal and it's like, he's not doing shit for them. Like, I don't know if that trade was worth it. That's what I'm like more like focused on here. Not their record, more of like, I think they messed up with that trade.
I could see your side of it. There was, like you said, there was no real need for a Bradley Beal. You have KD, you have Book, you had CP3. And like, despite what people say about CP3, oh, he's old, oh, he's getting hurt, blah, 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 at least in a regular season, you know what Chris Paul brings to your team, even for the Warriors. Coming off their bench, he's literally probably, between him and Russell Westbrook, the most valuable bench assets in the NBA. Because he leads the league in assist to turnover ratio coming off of the bench. That just goes to show, hey, if I was a starter, I would still put up 14-9, 14-10 any given night, especially with two of the best scoring threats in the league. So, I agree with you. I'm actually kind of frustrated to see where they're at in the standings. And plus, I feel like not a lot of people talk about it because it's Phoenix, because it's not like a super, super mega market name, because the Lakers are just one spot ahead of them. We all talk about the Lakers like, wow, the season is over. Like, wow, can they make it back? Can they do this? Let's talk about another guy who's also an NBA top 75 player, like Kevin Durant. And he's in danger of not making the postseason. Now, I agree with you. It should definitely be a case where they're not going to stay there. Maybe come January, all this talk we're having right now could just fall into the void. They can go 9-0 for the month of January for all we know. Cool.
Right.
And out of nowhere, they're back in the top picture of the West. That could very well happen.
That very well could happen. Yep.
But I'm just pissed off because, like you said, teams reach for this third star when it might not even have been necessary.
Sometimes it's not even necessary.
Yeah. I think for Phoenix's case, it was like, wow, we need to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. He literally doesn't really like Chris Paul. He didn't really like Monty Williams like that. They were butting heads. I think DeAndre Ayton is the reason why Matt Ishbia probably pushed ownership, GMs, whatever, to kind of like, let's get this ball rolling. Let's go get another star. Let's trade this unhappy player, and let's get better. And granted, maybe if Beal is playing, maybe they are better.
Maybe they are, but we just don't know. We just don't know.
No one
Yeah, I think about like Kevin Durant and like how people view him, because it's like now you're starting to look at like his situations, right? It's like the Thunder, he left, goes to Golden State, wins his rings. Then he goes to Brooklyn, gets out of Brooklyn and stuff. Now he's in Phoenix, and now, you know, the reports are coming out. He's not happy, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And now people are talking about, oh, Kevin Durant's not happy again, the diva and stuff. I hope that that's not the narrative that stays consistent, because I don't know if he's really the problem, or I don't know if that stuff is necessarily true. We're at a point right now where things can spiral out of control.
Yes.
Like we're at a point where we're not there. It's like we're teetering, but like what we're saying right now, like can go 9-0 in the month of January. They could be right back in the playoff picture. None of this ever happened, or shit could hit the fan, and now we're talking about trades and this and that, blah blah blah. God knows, right? So the Suns, they need to just figure it out. Just stay calm. The ship isn't sinking, but the ship could sink very quickly if they allow it to. If they allow it to. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But that is definitely a situation to keep an eye on. That's for sure. Like, you know, let's something really quick.
Yeah.
If Kevin Durant decides to ask for a trade, leaves Phoenix, where could he go? Where could he go? Let's just like pick a team that we think that he would just slide right in on or want to go to.
Here's the thing. For a situation like this what if game we're about to jump into.
Yeah, yes.
It obviously needs to make sense. And I literally don't think that any team ever gets equal value on trades for like mega stars.
Guys like KD, yes.
Like look at James Harden. James Harden went for lunch money. He didn't go for like no exquisite like dinner. No disrespect to the role players like Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, Robert Covington. Really good role players. But they do not equate to what James Harden has been for his career. Yes. And especially how he's played after, you know, dragging out that funk. Like, the Clippers are one of the best teams in the league again. I'm not talking about them in the finals because I refuse to do that. But they look like really good. So if we're going to pick a team, we're expecting somebody to be lowballed in this Kevin Durant offer if one is on the table.
Yep.
So, with all that being said, with you knowing the contingency plan, in the words of the great Stephen A. Smith, the list is fluid. And I think I'm going to go with Stephen A. Smith's Knicks, who have the picks, who have some assets that could be really good in other places as well, just like they are in New York right now, like Josh Hart, DiVincenzo. Emmanuel Quickley wants to get paid next season. Yep. That could probably be a future point guard to pair with D-Book. And Bradley, maybe, I don't know if they keep Bradley Beal, but maybe I talk to New York. If I'm Kevin Durant and the organization respects me that much in Phoenix, just like how they did in Brooklyn, where they let me pick where I wanted to go.
Sure.
Give me New York. I think.
Hey, it's a good one. That's a good one, man. I think the Knicks are one of those teams I just mentioned with an Embiid. You know, a superstar becomes available. They have the assets to do it. I think that's a good pick. I look at a team like you said the whole thing of like, will they honor my wishes of going to this team? Whatever. Fuck that. We are past that. KD is 35, 36 years old. We're sending his ass to the north. We're going to Canada. Toronto Raptors. You got two forwards that have been on the trade block for the last 2 years. You're telling me Phoenix is like, give us Siakam, give us OG, give us a pick. All yours. Listen, just a 2-for-1 swap. Phoenix gets depth. The Raptors get a superstar that for a few years, maybe. Listen, I'm not saying KD wants to go there. I'm just saying the Raptors get Siakam and OG off the books. They bring in KD that maybe they can give him the Brady Buccaneers treatment where it's like, we're going to build around you for a few years. We're going to bring everything we can to win a championship. And that Listen, man, I'm just saying you want to talk about team that has pieces, they got pieces too.
They do.
They do. Realistically, I do think the Knicks are good. I hate to say it, the Heat are always a team that are going to throw their name in the hat. They're always going to be involved in things.
You know what?
Yeah, I think
let's throw in a return party. How about
the Warriors? Oh, OKC. Yeah, they could. Oh, SGA, KD, and Chet.
I don't know exactly what OKC gives up, but if they're talking about draft assets,
I mean, get the Brinks truck out. Get the Brinks truck out. Pair a few Williams. Maybe throw a Josh Giddey in there. Get that situation out of there. You got the picks. The picks.
I think.
Yeah, I like that. And I'll tell you what. You want to talk about becoming a championship team overnight?
It'll happen.
Yeah, it would happen. SGA, KD, and Chet. That's nasty business right there.
I have 2 7-foot unicorns, and apparently a guy that was
one of the best two-way players in the NBA.
Michael Jordan-esque numbers since last year. Yeah, sign me up for OKC if KD.
That's sick. I like that.
He demands a trade. Go.
That would be sick. Yeah. That would be sick. That would be so cool. And that's like LeBron going back to Cleveland, bro. OKC, this is for you. Seattle, this is for you.
Yeah. Why not?
Fuck it. If the Supersonics come back, that's where my money's going. Katie to the Sonics. Give it 5 years. Give it 5 years.
Whenever this happens, because Seattle and Vegas deserve NBA teams. So.
Yes, they do. Vegas because of money, Sonics because of good fans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to kind of close this thing out before we are done here, Ja Morant. We touched on it last week. We had our spiel about whether they can make the postseason or how much of an impact. We knew Ja is a great player. The Grizzlies have amassed more wins with Ja Morant than the Detroit Pistons have all season.
So bad. It's so bad. 4-0. Man, 4-0. Pistons, twice as many wins as the Pistons organization this year. Ja Morant, dude, first week back, player of the week, 4-0. Game winners, leading late game comebacks.
Ja's back.
Hey, the Grizzlies are better with Ja Morant. That confirmed that. That confirmed that for damn sure.
Where did that bullshit ass narrative come from a couple years ago? Where they're a better team, they play well, and blah blah blah. No, that's lightning in a bottle.
Oh no, he is the reason why that they ever will be contenders. They're 4.5 games back of the 10 seed right now, so they still are games out. Again, still plenty of time. We're 29 games into the season, but the chances of them making any noise in the Western Conference is a whole lot better because Ja Morant's back. That's for sure. Yep.
Hey, I think we kind of shat on their playoff hopes before, but Ja's kind of making me a believer again.
Hey, that 0.4% has to. We got to be inching close. We have to be right at 1% now. We have to be inching closer, right? You got at least, right? We have to be.
It's got to be.
Yeah, the Grizzlies are looking solid. We'll see if they keep the momentum up and actually do, make the playoffs by the end of the season. That would be a crazy turnaround because of one player too. That would be pretty nuts.
And it sucks he can't qualify.
He can't qualify for anything.
Any NBA teams, no awards because he's not going to hit the game quota.
Yeah, he could play every game the rest of the season.
But if this was like a comeback, the NFL has a comeback player of the year award.
Yeah.
It would definitely go to Ja.
It would definitely go to Ja for sure. Well, see what happens, Jerry. We will see what happens.
Yep. Well, that's all we got. Any parting shots or anything you have?
No, I don't have any punches to throw to end this episode. I think I'm going to keep it civil with everyone. Pistons, man. Well, I'm wishing you nothing but the best.
I just have one thing that I need to get off my chest. Because Randy Moss came into the NFL verse and said that he was the best receiver of all time. And damn it, I agree with him because...
Hey, fire. That's lit. Lit.
You know how I feel about
I love that.
Man?
Let me tell you, I will have one last thing to say, actually. So, 2 things. So, fantasy football, season's over for me. Thank God. I was in the losers bracket. I won this last week, so I'm out of the last place game. No punishment for me. The punishment in my league, so you have to get on a bus, go to a preseason football game, go for it for 3 hours, and come right back. And you have to get blackout the night before too. Should have mentioned that one.
Oh God.
Two. Listen, Jerry, I know you're a Vikings fan. I just want to give my love. Justin Jefferson, we had a bad year. We didn't have a good year together, okay? You screwed me over in some leagues, and I traded you in some others. But that league that I traded him in my Dynasty League, I now have the number 2 overall pick in this year's draft. So, Justin, thank you for your service for my team. I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors. I do not plan on drafting you in the foreseeable future. Not because of you, more so because of your QB situation. Maybe a little bit because of your injuries. But Justin, I'm sorry this year turned out the way that it did, but it'd be like that sometimes.
I have nothing
Wish you good luck next year.
Please give us our end cap. Follow us everywhere.
Follow us everywhere. Like, subscribe on YouTube. Put in the comments, just argue with us. Go back and forth with us. Compliment us. Whatever you want to say. Put it in the comments. Check out all the other videos on this platform. Check out the shorts section so you can check out all the games that we play since we don't do it on these podcast episodes anymore. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Check out all of our content on those pages. You can follow us on our personal socials. They are on the screen here. I think that's it. I think I ran through it pretty quickly this week.
That was impressive.
I think I did. I think that was good. Yeah, I'm getting better at it. It's getting crisp. It's getting better.
Yeah, man. We might need you to host Jeopardy or something. You might, yeah.
And here's your host, Dante Toro. I prefer Wheel of Fortune, but I can do Jeopardy too. Hey, they record in the same studio, so I can pull off double duty. It's okay. Whatever they need from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we can't wait to see you for the next one. But until then, peace out.
See you next year.